News. I'm your host, the TNT Muffin, and today we're going to be talking about Youtooz, Hex, the FNaF 2 movie, and more. Now, starting off with the Hex news, on TJoC's recent charity stream, he's revealed a lot of new stuff. One thing is he has shown 3D models of two new plushies, which are a glow-in-the-dark Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie. You can see them both here. I think they look pretty good. It's not really anything special. It's basically stuff we've already seen in the past, just now it's gonna be black, got some green and red stuff, and it's gonna glow in the dark. Had no idea this was gonna be happening, but I guess there are gonna be these glow-in-the-dark guys. I think they look decent, and it's a cool gimmick, I guess. But the really interesting plushies they revealed were the sister location ones. So this is our first look at the sister location wave of plushies they're gonna be releasing. You can see there is Funtime Freddy, Ballora, Baby, and Funtime Foxy. From what we can see, the designs look pretty good. They are just drawings, so we don't know exactly what the actual plushies are gonna look like. But from this, I really like how they look. And we did actually get a closer look at a couple of these plushies, because he actually also showed us 3D models of two of them. The first one here is Funtime Foxy, which shows us a better look than just the drawing did, because you can see some more details, some popping out bits and stuff like that. This one I think I like more than the next one I'm going to show. I think they did a good job with it. I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like in actual plush form. The other one was Baby, which I think also looks pretty good. It's got all the details it needs on it, including all the lines in the face and stuff like that. I think it looks a little less interesting than the Funtime Foxy one, because, you know, it's got like the round, flat face, but it looks good. And they've also revealed some clothing like a Shadow Freddy hoodie. They did this before with Shadow Bonnie, and now they're going to be doing the counterpart to that, Shadow Freddy. I think it looks pretty good. The design on the back's really cool, so if you liked that Shadow Bonnie one, there's this one as well. And then there were also two shirts they revealed. There's this one, that's sister location theme, Circus Baby's Pizza World. It's got the logo there, and then 4 characters. There's also this design on the back as well. And the other shirt is this security breach one with the characters there, and apparently the back of it's supposed to have like tour dates and locations and stuff like that. So it's supposed to be like an in-universe concert type of thing, I believe. Continuing on with the merch news, Youtooz is making a bunch of new pins. There are 7 new pins on the Youtooz website. Some of them we've talked about before, like the Cassie and Gregory, Roxanne Wolf, and Montgomery Gator. There was also the Music Man one that we mentioned before. Weirdly, I don't believe that's on there, so I'm not sure what happened to that. But we also have 4 new ones, like this Glamrock Chica pin. It's Glamrock Chica and a slice of pizza on the other side of the chain. There are a few of these chain ones they did, you know, like that Cassie and Gregory one. I think it looks pretty good. You know, Glamrock Chica loves pizza, and we can see that with this pin. They also weirdly made a second Glamrock Chica pin, which is Glamrock Chica's head, and then the 2 little dangly bits are her earrings. I think that's a pretty good idea. I like that, so while you're walking or whatever, the earring should be like dangling. There's this Glamrock Freddy pin, which instead of having one of those chains, it actually has this little battery that you can spin. I'm not actually sure why they're doing this. Like, it's cool to have a spinning thing. I think spinning pin is a cool idea. I don't know why it's a battery, though. And then the 4th new one I think is actually pretty cool. It's a present, but it has this little hinge on it so you can open it up. I think it's a pretty nice set of pins. They all have something interesting. They're not just basic pins you stick on. They've all got their own little function. Unfortunately, you can't actually buy them all together. You do have to buy them all separately, which means you have to pay $5 shipping per pin. So, you know, that on top of like the $12 price, $17 per pin isn't fun, but they are pretty cool. I do think they did a good job. At the same time these pins are released, they're also going to be releasing the FNaF 2 wave of figures. I talked about this in my previous video with the silhouettes, but now we actually get to see the full figures. So now there's the designs of Withered Chica, which I think looks really good. This is probably my favorite one of the figures. The only issue with it is that she doesn't have any red in her mouth, but I really like the design of it. Then there's a puppet, which is crawling out of its box. I think that's pretty cool. I think I would have liked it better if it had more of the character, you know, like standing up higher up in the box, but I still like it like this. There's Withered Freddy, which I've talked about previously, which I also think looks pretty good. Withered Bonnie, which I think actually looks pretty cool because they decided to have the red dots as just dots instead of the Youtooz eyes. They do still have the Youtooz eyes there, unfortunately, but At least it kind of like blends in with the endoskeleton. Then there's Mangle, which in this image here looks very strange. It's the same mold as the Shadow Mangle figure, but the colors on it just look so weird. But the good news here, though, is that they have recently changed the design to make it look good. Instead of having those weird, sporadic colors in it, just all mixed together, it's one solid endoskeleton color. They fixed the jaw color, added coloration on the outside of the eyes, and now it looks really good. And then there's the Withered Foxy figure, which also looks awesome. The only issue with it for me is that the eyes are a bit too big, but other than that, I really like it. Youtooz absolutely killed it with this wave. Definitely one of the best waves of FNaF figures. Each figure looks great. The unfortunate thing, though, is that they are only going to be available for 2 weeks. I hate when they do that. It makes it a lot harder for people to get them, and especially with this wave, with such popular characters that people have been wanting for ages, making that limited time is very disappointing. But yeah, cool wave. I'm very excited for that to release. Now we've got some holiday-related stuff from Youtooz. They've got this image with the Withered Bonnie figure, and behind it you can actually see some wrapping paper. On the left side, there is Ruin-themed wrapping paper. You can see Mexies, the wet floor sign, stuff like that. And then on the right side, I don't know if that's FNaF related or not, but there's a pink wrapping paper also. We've also gotten some images in the past of these cards. There's this one with Cassie and Roxy, and this one of Ruin Monty, so it seems like we're going to be getting a Ruin wave of holiday-themed items. So that's pretty interesting. I did not expect Youtooz to do that, but apparently that is going to be something happening eventually. Another piece of Youtooz news was revealed on the TJoC charity stream, which is a new set of POPGOES pins. You've got POPGOES, who's in a floaty and has sunglasses, Blake, who's building a sandcastle, Sarah, who's snorkeling in the water, Saffron, who's got a big speaker, Stone, who's holding a surfboard, and then Menorah, who's sitting on a towel eating some ice cream. I really like the designs in all these guys. The artwork looks really good, and if you notice, there's also a special feature about these pins, which is that they have glitter on them. So on a lot of their clothing, the characters are gonna have sparkly glitter pieces, and that's pretty neat. But yeah, new Fanverse merch, can't wait for that. We also got some donation goals for Fanverse games. We got to see some cool POPGOES stuff. We got this really cool teaser from POPGOES Evergreen, which shows us our first look at the false Mangle animatronic. Clearly a reference to that original FNaF 2 teaser with Foxy and Mangle, except this time it has Mangle and false Mangle. We get to see the head here. I think it looks really cool. It almost looks like a dinosaur in my opinion. I'm really curious to see what the whole body is going to look like and the endo head. So whenever Evergreen does release, I think that's going to be an awesome character. We also got a new phone design revealed, which is actually based off of the Ignited Cupcake, which is interesting. Pretty cool design there, and that's a good transition into the other stuff that got revealed, some teasers for the Joy of Creation. So the Joy of Creation Ignited collection, we got a little teaser here showing the Ignited Cupcakes. Pretty creepy. I think they have pretty sweet designs. And we also got some gameplay shown, which is the office section of the game with Ignited Foxy. It looks pretty crazy here. You've got like sparks flying or explosions or something. I can't really tell what's going on, but whatever it is, it looks cool. I don't know much about the Joy of Creation or what's gonna happen in the Ignited collection, but from this, it looks awesome. No idea when that game is going to release, but I'm very excited for that to happen. Some news on the FNaF 2 movie. Apparently, due to feedback from fans and viewers of the first FNaF movie, they're going to be making the second one more scary. It's going to have a larger focus on horror, so I assume more creepy shots, more jump scares, some maybe more gore, I'm not sure. Just all around more of a horror movie and less of a fantasy fun adventure. So that's gonna be awesome. I did think the original movie wasn't scary enough. It still scared me a couple times, but overall it didn't seem like that much of a horror movie. This one, I'm very excited to see what it's like. And I think the FNaF 2 location is perfect for that. There are a bunch of characters that I think look very creepy, and they can definitely do some very creepy stuff with. So I'm very interested to see how they're gonna make all that work. I hope the puppet's scary. I'm really curious what they're gonna do for the puppet, because it's very skinny. You can't really put a person inside of it. and you can't really make it move like a normal animatronic, I feel like. I don't know, we'll have to see. And then another movie-related thing here is that the vinyl records we're going to be getting for the FNaF movie soundtrack, apparently the packaging is going to have glow-in-the-dark eyes. So that's pretty cool. If you have that hanging on the wall or on a shelf or whatever and turn the lights off, you might get a little spook. Not sure if they're going to be doing that with the cassette tapes and the CDs. It kind of seems like it's just going to be the vinyl records, but I guess we'll see. Either way, I think that's a cool detail. But that's all the news we have today, so if you want to subscribe, you can click the button on top of my head. If you want to watch my last news video, you can click that button over there. And if you want to see some other video I made, you can click that button over there. And I'll see you when we get some more news on the FNaF 2 movie.